Hey y'all, it's time for test 2. So we're taking our test tomorrow, and I sent home the study guide today. I will also send it in a link, so if your kiddo didn't make it home with it, don't worry. I am going to put it in a link so that you can make a copy of it if you need to at home. This is just for practice. Our test will look a lot like this, but it's not going to be this exact story or the exact questions, but it will have the same kind of mistakes. So the things that we've been practicing and looking at are revising incomplete sentences. We've talked about capitalization, punctuation. We've gone over helping in linking verbs and that subject-verb agreement, kind of like what was on that 7-Up checklist. It's now going to be listed on the top of their test. So far as format goes, it's a little different than last time. They're going to have a short story. Now, I understand that this part and this part look identical, except if you'll notice that this section has numbers. And the reason it has numbers is because the questions will be about specific sentences, and so instead of them trying to count and figure out which one is sentence 7, because some things are missing punctuation, I've rewritten it with the sentence number beside it. And it's important that they notice this, because this will also appear like on star writing at the end of the year. So I kind of want to get them used to seeing those numbers in there and what they mean. So what I would do is I would have your kiddo read this and then answer this question: what is this all about? So obviously it has a title, Why Making Maple Syrup is Hard Work. So I'm just going to read you the sentences. Not so very long ago, life on Earth be easy for people. Sunlight warmed the land. The forest, meadows, and lakes was home to countless animals. Hunters, plenty of game, and the rivers offered a bounty of fish. Berries hung heavy was the bushes, and the cornfields grew tall. Even the trees was full of sticky sweet syrup. A broken twig provided plenty of fresh syrup right from the branch. So then I have to think about, okay, what was this all about? So the answers are, there are multiple answers. Some people automatically go back to the title and think about, okay, this has maple syrup in it. But my thing is, even though it is about maple syrup, it doesn't get into why it's making hard. So this is actually not a great title in my opinion. And so what I would say this is about is just life on Earth. Just different things that happened, with the plants, animals, people, and how they survived. So once you come up with an answer there, then move on to question 1. And it says, sentence 1 should read. Well, right away, I need to go and look at sentence 1 in its original form in the story before I even start looking at what these are as far as answer choices. So it says, not so very long ago, life on Earth be easy for people. To me, right away, this sounds funny. Be easy for people. So I know that whatever I pick, this needs to make more sense, more than what be easy sounds like to me. So it says, not so very long ago, life on Earth and easy for people. To me, that still sounds weird, so I'm not going to pick that one. Not so very long ago, life on Earth was easy for people. All right, that one sounds better, so I'm going to give it a maybe dot. It's got a capital letter. It's got punctuation. It looks like it has enough words. So I think that's it, but I want to check the other answer choices. Not so very long ago, life on Earth was easy for people. Well, that sounds exactly the same. Capital, 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 people, people. Oh, there it is. Period. It's missing the period, so this is no good, even though the words are exactly the same. Not so very long ago, life on Earth is easy for people. Again, that sounds funny. That's not going to be it. So to prove what answer I picked, I can't just leave the dot down here on the end. I need to circle the B, and I also want to write it out here. And the reason I ask that they circle and write it is because when we get to the point where we're ready to start doing Scantrons, it's easier to check your test when you're comparing your Scantron to your test, making sure that you've bubbled everything right, if you've taken the time to write it out here. I know sometimes that it gets confusing if you change your answer several times. You can't tell, okay, which one did I circle, which one did I erase? So if you take the time to write it out to the side, it will be very clear what answer you picked. It also makes it easier on me, the grader. Number 2, sentence 2 should read. Again, I'm going to go straight to sentence 2 before I even look at these answer choices. So in the story it says, sunlight warmed the land. Well, right away I can tell that this is a lowercase s. So whatever I pick needs to have a capital. It's not very long either, so I might want to see if there's something with more words, but it doesn't necessarily sound bad. Sunlight warmed the land. Answer choice A. Well, right away I can tell that this is a lowercase s, and that is a capital L. Land is not a proper noun, so this answer choice is not any good. Sunlight is warmed the land. Well, that sounds funny, and there's no period. Not a good answer choice. Sunlight warmed the land. Capital S, got a period. That's possible. Sunlight was warmed the land. Was doesn't sound right, and that's a lowercase s. It's not the right answer. So C is the correct answer. I circle it and write it beside the number. All right, number 3. Sentence 4 should read. And see, this is why it's super important that you're paying attention to what sentence it says, because like here, number 1 was sentence 1, number 2 was sentence 2, but that will not always be the case. So you have to make sure that you read it. And I also want to point out this last answer choice. It says no change needed. Very rarely will you ever pick this answer choice. But if you do, you're saying that whatever was in the story originally is perfect and it does not need to be altered. So I'm just going to caution you about picking this answer choice. Yes, it could be right, but I want to check everything first. So again, I'm going to start off with number 4, or sentence 4 in the story. Hunters plenty of game, and the rivers offered a bounty of fish. Hunters plenty of game, and the rivers offered a bounty of fish. All right. Hunters found plenty of game, and the rivers offered a bounty of fish. Ooh, I like that. Found. That sounds better than hunters plenty of game. Hunters founded plenty of game, and the rivers offered a bounty of fish. To me, founded does not sound quite right, so I'm going to go ahead and give that one an X. And this one is just silly. Hunters got game and fish. Well, they might have game. They might have fish, but that doesn't sound like a very good sentence. And then we have no change needed. So if I think about the one that doesn't need to be changed, hunters plenty of game in the story compared to hunters found plenty of game, this one is clearly better. So I'm going to choose answer choice A. All right, something else I want to talk to you about. Sometimes questions are not on the same side as the story is. Yes, it is inconvenient to flip back and forth, but you have to do it. You can't just pick between the 3 options shown because you can tell, look, no change needed is on that one and that one. You have to go back every time. So question 4 says sentence 5 should read. So I'm going to flip back. I'm going to look at sentence 5. Berries hung heavy was the bushes. Oh, that's weird. Berries hung heavy was the bushes, and the cornfields grew tall. Something's funny right in there. Not real sure about the what. So let's go look at my options. Answer choice A. Berries hung heavy were the bushes, and the cornfields grew tall. That sounds weird. I don't think that's going to be right. Berries hung heavy, there the bushes, and the cornfields grew tall. There the bushes? No. And heavy. Oh, heavy was misspelled there, so that's definitely wrong. All right. Berries hung heavy on the bushes, and the cornfields grew tall. Well, berries hung heavy was, or berries hung heavy on. On sounds a lot better, so it's definitely not no change needed. C is the correct answer. Sentence 3 should read. Again, I'm going back to the story and reading the original version before I even look at the answer choices. The forest, meadows, and lakes was home to countless animals. Okay, I can see that a lot of things are wrong. The capitalization of the T, there's a list, forests, meadows, and lakes, was home to countless animals. The forest, meadow, and lakes was home. There's something wrong there, and there's no punctuation. So that's definitely not going to be correct, but let's look at our other choices. The forest, there's the comma, meadows, comma, and lakes were home to countless animals. That sounds a lot better than was. The forest, meadows, and lakes be home to countless animals. Nope. And then look, this has got a lowercase t and no period, so that's no good. And I already found a ton of mistakes in the original version. So answer choice A would be the best answer for number 5. Number 6 is sentence 6. So I want to go back and look at the original version. All right, sentence 6. Oh, right here it is. Even the trees was full of sticky sweet syrup. Even the trees was full of sticky sweet syrup. There's something funny about that. Let me look and see what my answer choices are. Even the trees was full of sticky sweet syrup. Well, what's the difference between that one and the one that was in the story? Let me look. Even the trees was full of sticky sweet syrup. Oh, the punctuation. Okay, so it's either a period or an exclamation point. That's a difficult choice. I'm still not sure about this word was, though, so I'm going to keep reading. Even the trees is full of sticky sweet syrup. Well, is not right, and that lowercase e, get rid of that one. Even the trees were full of sticky sweet syrup. Were full sounds a lot better than was, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of A. Even the trees was full of sticky sweet syrup. And then this one's got a lowercase e. It's no good. So the correct answer would be C for number 6. All right.